And I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going.
You know what time it is! You know what time it is!
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back for episode 2 of Voice of the People. I am your host, Rob Lange. I am so grateful that you've decided to come back to check out another week of this new show brought to you by The Painted Lines. Make sure if you are watching this on YouTube, you are clicking that subscribe button right now. Listen, today is a day where I want to be the voice of the people, but every now and again, I feel as though I have to talk to the fans of this city. Okay, I have spent my entire life in this city. I have spent my time with these fans, going through the heartbreaks, you name it. And I have spent time in other cities where I have just defended us and told people, no, you just don't get us. You just don't understand what we have to go through. And for so many years, I have just been attacked for being a Philadelphia fan. And I still love being a Philadelphia fan. You may not be able to see the pictures here, but I remember the parade back in 2008 with all the fans. I remember the parade in 2017. I was not old enough, but I hear stories of the parades in the 70s for the Flyers. There is no more passionate fan than the Philadelphia fan. However, today's episode is calling out a faction of this fan base. Okay, and I'm wearing my Malcolm Jenkins shirt, but the fact is you still aren't listening. Okay, you still aren't listening. Why do you believe there have been so very few stars that have spent their entire careers in this city? You could say that the game is changing. You could say that stars rarely stay in one city. But I have another theory. We, as a fan base, allow this loud minority to consistently run guys out of town too soon. And right now, in 2020, as we end this hellacious year where we've all been stuck inside way too damn much, here we are again, trying to run stars out too early. Whether you believe they're a star or not yet, they are potential stars, okay? They are young potential stars. I am so tired of the way we turn on people like that if they don't win a championship in 5 friggin' minutes. It's ridiculous. We only have 2 championships in the last 27, 28 years. So why are we doing that? Rewind just a few years ago, as the Sixers drafted Ben Simmons out of LSU, a guy that people thought would be generational. Here he is, 24 years old. 1 preseason game, guys. 1 preseason game. And you're going to tell me, it's same stuff. He can't play. He can't do anything. All because of one part of the game. I understand. Shooting is a big part of the game. I get it. But when you can do the things he does on the floor, when you have looked at this team over the last few years when he's not on the floor, you're kidding yourself if you think the 76ers are a better basketball team without Ben Simmons. Let me put it to you this way. Okay, I think it's pretty universal in this town that there's a radio host named Howard Eskin that everyone just thinks is an asshat, right? Well, let me ask you this. Why are you all agreeing with him? Because he's been on this since day one. He won't back off of it. Why are you agreeing with that? It is such a stupid take. You don't understand the game of basketball. You know what you are? You're that young millennial who thinks that scoring is the only part of basketball. You think that's it. I just want to see the highlight scores. There is so much more to the game. There is so much more to the game. Why don't you give this guy an opportunity with shooters around him for the first time in his career? Why don't you do that before you run his ass out of town? I'm so sick of it. It's unbelievable. Not to mention what you're doing to poor number 11. Oh, he makes millions of dollars. What do you mean, poor Rob? You're an idiot. Am I? Because it was only 4 or 5 short years ago where he was the savior of the franchise in your eyes. Oh my God, look at this kid. Look at him. He's big, he's tough, he's just a worker. Oh man, it's great. 10 bad games. 10 bad games. And we want to eat $34 million because of 6 quarters of another guy. Let me ask you this. How long do you turn on him? How long do you turn on Jalen Hurts? You've been doing this forever. You just want stuff to bitch about. There's the issue with us. We want to act like we're tough and hard. All we ever do is look for the friggin' negative. All we ever do is look to bitch about these guys. I mean, Jesus Christ, you had one of the best pound-for-pound players in NBA history. One of the toughest little guys ever in Allen Iverson. And by the end, who needs him? He didn't win anything. You forget the era of Allen Iverson basketball in this town. You forget how much fun it was to watch that team play, to watch him be a gunner. And you wanted to run him out. So where does it all come from? Because, you know, a lot of the times you hear from older generations than younger kids. Younger kids, look, I love you, be sports fans, but you're all just unintelligent with it. You're all about what's on ESPN, what's the highlight reel. It's ridiculous. Stop. Just stop. Okay? The older generation, I don't know if you got scorned. I don't know if when Reggie White left to go to Green Bay, it hurt you. I don't know if when Charles Barkley asked to leave, it hurt you. I don't understand why we consistently want to run out young, super talented players in our sports. It's everywhere. Don't act like everybody loved Ryan Howard before the World Series. Because I remember quite a few fans, oh, this guy strikes out too much, that would make a difference. You know, people didn't like Chase Utley. Oh, he doesn't talk enough to the media. I mean, this is what you people did, and I know it's not everybody. But the faction has now become louder because of the wonderful invention of Twitter. So guess what? I got to pull the carpet out from under you. I got to pull your pants down and embarrass you. Because what you are frauds. The amount of people that are now on Twitter that only want their narrative to be right is astounding and is sickening to me. It's all over the place. Like now in some people's minds, Carson Wentz can never do anything good. He's done nothing for us. Nothing. He wasn't an MVP prior to his injury in 2017. Ben Simmons isn't two-time All-NBA defensive player. Isn't a two-time All-Star. Ben Simmons does things that guys his size are not supposed to physically be able to do. Does it frustrate you sometimes with the way he plays? Sure. Has Carson Wentz played well this year? No, he sucked. But you want to get rid of him? You just want to think it's all over before it actually is? Yet, there are other guys who are not even close to stars. T.J. McConnell. Robert Covington. You name them on any team. I mean, Jalen Mills. There's so many people in this town that still like Jalen Mills. Oh, man, he's a Philly guy. Guess what Philly guys get you? Not a goddamn thing. Athletes get you titles. Winners get you titles. I love a Philly guy too, but if he can't play, get his ass out. You guys memorialized Robert friggin' Covington. The only reason he looked as good as he did was he was playing with Isaiah friggin' Cannon. That's absurd. Okay? I know what Nick Foles did. And damn it, I will love Nick Foles for the rest of my life for that run in 2017. But I saw a poll on the internet today where 50% of the fans out of like 8,000 said that they would trade Carson Wentz in a first-round pick to Chicago for Nick Foles to be the backup here. Are you out of your mind? The guy has been beaten out by the mustache man Gardner Minshew and Mitch Trubisky, who hasn't done a damn thing in this league since he left. What are you thinking? Use your head. You want to think about draft stock? Fine. Then that means you have now traded all those picks you traded to get Carson Wentz to bring Nick Foles back, who couldn't beat out Gardner Minshew or Mitchell Trubisky, to be your backup, to Jalen Hurts, who has played 6 legitimate quarters of NFL football. And by the way, the style of play he has lends itself for injuries. So Jalen Hurts gets hurt. You gonna turn on him too? Oh, well, we can't win with a quarterback like that. You'll find another narrative. You'll find another bullshit reason to hate him. You did it to McNabb. AJ Feely was better than McNabb. Jeff Garcia was better than McNabb. You remember that? This is a major flaw in our fandom. This is taking your passion and letting it control your mind to say stupid ass things. I am not sitting here today telling you I know that Ben Simmons is going to be a superstar. I'm not sitting here today telling you I know that Carson Wentz is going to come back and be a Pro Bowler and an MVP. But I do know this. The more young superstars you give away, the more young superstars you run out of town by running your friggin' mouth in the public the way some of you do. When free agency and trade rumors come up, who's going to want to come? Who's going to want to come play here? When at the first sign of bad, people are just going to forget about him. Screw him. I'm going to tell you right now, if you want to be a city that wins championships, multiple, not just one every 5, 10, 15, 20 years, you need superstars. And you need some of them to be homegrown superstars. And the more people you run out, the less chance that's ever going to happen. So your narrative means this much to the majority of this fan base. Your narrative means nothing if what you say is actually true and that you want to win and you want championships. So stop with your narrative, asshats. Don't think that just because Twitter has been able to give you a voice, it makes you smart. As a matter of fact, it's making a lot of people dumber. And this small faction of this fan base who just wants to find the bitching things and go after these guys, you're going to try and ruin sports in this town. And I myself and a majority of this fan base are not going to allow it. This is the voice of the people. Have a great week.
And I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going.
You know we're going in!